Peace. This is a meat and potato associate production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is, should you teach your children magic? Now, I want to make this disclaimer before I get into the video. I don't tell anybody how to rear their children as it pertains to their mundane or earthly needs. You put food on the table for them, you got a roof over their head, and you're treating them well, it's none of my business. But I want to talk about, and I want this to be not only a teachable moment, but also a warning when it comes to the occult. And I've seen some people in my travels who may notice magical traits in their children and make the egregious mistake of trying to teach them magic before they come to a state of maturation. This is just foolhardy in my opinion, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So you may notice a child may be able to see spirits or feel energy, and they may have their clairs open up. And you're thinking this may be transferable from you to them. Sometimes, not all the time. And when you are journaling, this is very important when you're involved with somebody. When you're journaling, you have to have a partner or spouse that respects boundaries. And I've talked about this in past videos. That happened to me one time. Somebody went through my book of shadows and they read some stuff that they weren't supposed to read, being nosy, treacherous at the same time. And that taught me, like, be careful where you leave your book of spells, shadows, etc., or journal. Got to be careful about that, because a lot of people feel like they just got the right to just violate you. And to me, I just think quite the reverse. I remember this person was in the vampire community, or as they say. So this person was about to go through a divorce. Now listen up, because this is when it gets interesting. Listen to the Kobe Bryant of Magic. So they were about to go through a divorce, and once the courts get involved, like friend of the court and all that, what happened? The spouse brought her book of shadows with all her vampiric information in it, read it in front of a judge. And what ended up happening? She ended up losing custody of her daughter. And her magical and vampiric name also was outed. Yeah. And I tried to warn that individual, other individuals, you cannot do that, because these people get in front of the friends of the court, that's war. Anytime you go into court, that is war. All right? Don't go up in there, oh, we gonna do what's best for the child. Yeah, whatever. Okay? That's gonna go out the window. I can tell you that right now. Ain't nobody gonna play fair. The object of a fight is to win. Don't ever forget that, and don't let nobody steer you and tell you otherwise. So, loss of the daughter, then your name got out there, and then this forced the vampiric community. In this particular community was like in upstate New York. So this forced them to make changes of what they did. So the whole thing is, you really didn't share your actual government name with people in that vampire coven. So they started making those changes. So, I've asked someone young, could you teach me about the Necronomicon? No, I cannot. I can, but I'm not. You're 14 years old. You probably ain't had your first girlfriend yet. How I look doing that? So just because a child has a magical gift, I would really tread lightly and wait till they're 18 and 19-year-olds, because I've also seen witches and sorcerers try to vicariously live through their children, as if like you gonna give them the upper hand because they're young. No, if anything, you're gonna end up stunting their growth. And then they may go around wielding that magic and not really understand the spirits that they're working with, or the gods or the goddesses. So this is why I think you should wait till a child is of a certain age and they show that they have a particular character as well as integrity before you even bring the magic into play. That's something to think about. Now, Will those spirits be watching that child or even help them when they're young? Yeah. I've had help when I was young. Santa Morte, Lucifer, Satan. Yeah, I've had help. But they waited, because you got to understand something. Time is not linear on that side. So they can wait. And if it's really meant for you to be on this path, the spirits aren't going to let you go, you or your child or children. So I hope that you take this video and you give it some thought. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.